I have been dreading making this video. I've thought about making it for the last several months. It is not lost on me that I have had anxiety about making a video on anxiety. So I want to share with you guys that, and I've probably shared this before, but maybe not to this extent, but I have suffered with anxiety pretty badly, especially when 5 years ago I went on my sobriety journey. I remember even at 6 months in to my sobriety journey, I made a Facebook post and I said, okay, so what gives? What do I got to do to get rid of this anxiety? Do I fill my bathtub up with CBD oil, or am I going to overdose on that too? And while I was kind of, joking when I made that post and being funny, really underneath all of that was that I was really, really struggling. And honestly, it was a reason that I drank in the first place. I later learned that the alcohol was actually increasing my anxiety. You may have heard it been the term hangxiety, which is the hangover that gives you anxiety the next morning. So even though I knew that alcohol was giving me anxiety, the temptation to relieve my anxiety short term was very much still there. So over the several years of recovery, I tried everything to relieve my anxiety. And one day at a time it worked, everything from journaling to taking walks. I have a list of things that I loved to do as a kid that I've wrote down that anytime I was feeling really squirrely, I can go back and look at that. That's why I skate. That really relieves a lot of anxiety for me. At one point I got, and I have them right here. I know it feels so weird to even have props, but I have to for this video. So these Anxiety, these really helped me for a long time. I believe GABA is a huge part of why it helped me. Excessive alcohol consumption actually decreases GABA, and GABA is responsible for reducing stress and anxiety. So there you have it. But even though I was taking those, and for me, I really like my relationship with God and quiet time with the Lord. That's something that I have to do daily for me. I still really, really struggled. And in January, I actually had to go to the doctor because I thought I had gallstones. I mean, I knew it. I just knew that's what I had because I was throwing up at night. And turned out, not only did they say you don't have gallstones, they even pushed forward to send me to get a sonogram to make sure of it, but they diagnosed me with generalized anxiety disorder. And no shame for anybody that takes medication, but for me, it's just something that I just really didn't want to explore. But I got to a point where I was like, okay, if I need to, I'm ready to explore it. Well, the nurse who was there happened to be a veteran, and she told me about a medical device that she could get the doctor to prescribe to me that not a lot of people know about, and that its insurance doesn't cover it, and the VOA, I believe she told me, I may be wrong, but I think the VOA does cover it. So a lot of people who are veterans know about this product. So I got prescribed something called Alpha Stim. I have it right here. This is very vulnerable for me because I know I come off as very calm and fun and joyous, but on the inside, I struggle with anxiety really badly. The only place that I don't feel a lot of anxiety is in prison because I kind of feel like I belong there. Well, technically I do for all the crap that I did, but I know that that's my calling, to help people in prison. So I feel at peace when I'm there. But anywhere else, including making this LinkedIn video, although I may appear calm, I'm like, on the inside. So they prescribed this medical device to me. I am not an influencer. I've never posted anything that anyone paid me to post. So this is truly my own experience, and I'm sharing it in case it helps someone. So it is this device that actually it's cranial electrotherapy stimulation, and it has a patented waveform that sends micro low current levels of electricity. So you clip it on your earlobes, and since our brains are both chemical and electrical, it kind of helps rewire the brain. The best way that I can describe what it's done for me is it's kind of like, I throw a laundry basket of clothes all over the bed, and this kind of helps reorganize my thoughts and put them in drawers. I have been, like I said, it's not lost on me that I've had anxiety about posting a video about anxiety, but it's given me anxiety to post about this because I am not a doctor. I know that it's a huge responsibility especially for people in vulnerable populations or people in recovery, or just in general, anybody struggling with their mental health. I do not want to steer anybody in the wrong direction. And this is just simply my own experiences. But this device, I've been using it since January. My employees have told me that I'm a completely different person. My speaking engagements are 1,000 times better if I'm not using it. Well, I've only not used it a couple of times just to kind of see, because the nurse told me that you can start by using it every day, and then as you don't need it, just a couple of times a week. No, I need it every day. My boyfriend will be like, no, you need your alpha stim. So even my employees, it's a whole thing. So everybody in my life knows that I use this. It's just been, I don't know, I'm just a little embarrassed. And it takes a lot of vulnerability for me to share this. But the barrier for this is that it was $850. Personally, I would pay $850 a month for this if I had to. I don't want to. But I did reach out to the CEO of the company, and I wanted to learn more about it before I made this post. He actually responded. He's been amazing. Like I said, I don't work for the company. I didn't get paid for this at all. I wouldn't mind getting more involved because they were amazing. But basically, you'll see here, I do it for 60 minutes every single day, every single night. I actually fall asleep with it. This is the container it came in. As you can see, it's for insomnia and anxiety. I'll tell you what, I cannot use this in the morning or in the middle of the day because it makes me so tired. And I used to be a person that took melatonin every single night, and melatonin kind of makes me grumpy. So this was a really good alternative. Ever since I started using this, I will tell you I have not used these anxiety supplements, and I have not used melatonin. So I think that's saying a lot. I have done a lot of work on myself, and I have done a lot of spiritual development, and I've done, I have counseling today even. So I've had to do a lot of work, and I've put the work in for my recovery journey. So I can't say that Alpha Stim is the answer to all of my problems. It's been a collective effort of all things. But I just wanted to share it with you because if there's other people out there that could really use this and it could change their life the way that it changed mine, then I at least want to share about it, because I've been pretty open about sharing about everything else that has worked for me. So anyways, I am not a doctor, obviously, and just disclaimer all over, this is my own experience and I'm just sharing it with you guys. And I've just really been feeling on my heart to do this in spite of having anxiety about doing a video about anxiety.